அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய பணிவான மாலை வணக்கங்கள். ஆங்கிலத்திலே பேச வேண்டுமா தமிழிலே பேச வேண்டுமா என்ற வினா எப்பொழுதும் போல இன்று மாலையும் எழுந்தது. தவத்திரு சாந்தலிங்க மருதாசல் அடிகளார் அவர்கள் அழகான எளிமையான வார்த்தைகளுடன் பிரார்த்தனை செய்தது மட்டுமல்லாமல் நம்மை எல்லாம் வாழ்த்தினார். அதே போல அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம் என்று கூறி இன்றைய மாலையின் கதாநாயகியாகிய ஸ்வர்ணலதா அவர்கள் தன்னுடைய உரையினை தொடங்கினார்கள். அதனால் தமிழிலே முன்னுரையை அளித்துவிட்டு ஆங்கிலத்திலே உரையாற்றலாம் என்று முடிவு செய்துள்ளேன். தெய்வப் புலவர் திருவள்ளுவர் அவர்கள் அருட்செல்வம் செல்வத்துள் செல்வம் பொருட்செல்வம் புரியார் கண்ணும் உள என்று பல நூற்றாண்டுகளுக்கு முன் கூறினார். ஸ்வர்ணலதா அவர்களை போன்ற சான்றோர்கள் அருட்செல்வர்கள் தோன்றுவார்கள் என்று அறிந்துதானோ அவர் அவ்வாறு கூறினார் என்ற வினா மனதிலே எழுகின்றது. இன்று மாலை இந்த விழாவிற்கு என்னை அழைத்து உரையாற்ற அழைத்தமைக்கு மிக்க நன்றி. ஸ்வர்கா ஃபவுண்டேஷன் அவர்களுடைய பல பணிகளை கண்டு மிகுந்த மகிழ்ச்சியும் பெருமையும் அடைகிறேன். நான் பிறந்த கோவை மண்ணிலே இப்படி ஒரு நிர்வாகம் இயங்கிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறது என்று நினைக்கும் பொழுது எனக்கே மிக பெருமையாக இருக்கின்றது. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished dignitaries, children who perform so admirably, Miss Maria, who is the master of the ceremony for the evening, a very good evening to all of you. I feel truly happy to be back in Coimbatore, my hometown, where I spent a considerable time of my life and which city shaped and reshaped my life. Returning for a cause so close to my heart makes this visit even more meaningful. And I am deeply honored, Ms. Swarnalata, that you chose to invite me, and I want to thank my dear friend Ambujam for introducing me to you and for giving me this opportunity. I'm also extremely privileged to be part of the launch of the Swag Cafe, the Parkinson Foundation, and the Sowkhya Foundation for Autism. I must tell you that in the Supreme Court, we have a Miti Cafe, of which you are familiar. The Miti Cafe is run by persons with a disability, and they are doing an admirable job. Not only that, last month in the Delhi High Court, we inaugurated the Sagar Ratna, which is also run by persons with disabilities, and they are doing a fantastic job. In your extempore speech, you made a brilliant point as to how there's a difference between those with visible disabilities and those whose disabilities are not visible. It is so true. That statement of yours was an eye-opener. As a judge in the country's apex court, I do not possess the medical expertise on disability, but I can tell you about the legal framework. Article 39A of the Constitution of India, which speaks of the directive principles of state policies, which are the goals for the country, has an express provision which says that the state will endeavor to do everything within its means to, make it an inclusive society for those with disabilities. And after several international conventions, we enacted the 1995 Persons with Disabilities Act, which had several shortcomings, but it has been replaced by an exhaustive Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act of 2016, which is a very significant act. It's a very short act. I want all of you to go through it so that we are aware that what the Parliament is doing for not sympathizing or pitying with the people who have disabilities, but as to how they are entitled to be given an equal opportunity, how they are entitled for an inclusive society, and how they are an integral part of the society. Those of you interested in further reading, you must have already read. There is a very eminent doctor in Bombay called Dr. Farooq Iraj Udwadia. He's a very leading doctor. He also writes very interesting books. I have read 2 of his books. The first book is a book called The Forgotten Art of Healing. And that has a chapter on art and medicine. And when I was seeing the children, of which, and the performers, 4 of whom you said had disabilities, including yourself, I was only wondering how true the statement in that book is. That book lists out eminent people in the field of art who have had disabilities. It lists out Milton, it lists out Mozart, it lists out Beethoven, it lists out Byron, the great poet, and so many others. But we don't see only from the angle of those who have succeeded. We also see this from those who have not been given the opportunity. So last week, there was a judgment of the Supreme Court, of which I am very happy to be a part, the privilege of authoring it. We were faced with a situation where there was a candidate with 45% disability of speech and language. He secured 97% marks in his 10th standard. He passed the 12th standard with first division. He wrote the NEET exam and he qualified with a suitable rank which would have got him a seat in a medical college. But the Disability Assessment Board looked at the guideline and told him that no, you have above 40% disability, hence you are per se disqualified from undergoing the medical course. So he came to us, we looked at the law. The law said if you have more than 40% disability, you can't study MBBS if you have speech and language disability. But something told us that that can't be correct. It cannot go by percentage. If he is otherwise qualified to undergo the course, merely because you compute the disability at 40%. So we looked up the material on this, and then we have held that only on the basis of quantified disability, nobody can be disqualified from pursuing the educational goals. What we have held is, if the Disability Assessment Board concludes that if he is, notwithstanding his 60, 70 or 80% disability, fit to undergo the course, he should be given the seat. Only if they conclude for good reasons that it will not be in his interest or in the interest of patients to pursue this course, you can deny him. So we gave him a seat in Latur Medical College. And today, Omkar Ramachandra Gond is a student of the Latur Medical College, pursuing his first year in medicine. So the judiciary, I must tell you, I'm a proud member of that, headed by our Chief Justice, Janade Chandrachud, is for an inclusive society where persons with disabilities will be given opportunity, we have held that every effort should be made by government, public sector, and even the private sector. And the approach should be that to examine how best to provide them the opportunity and not how to disqualify them. You will start with the inquiry as to how best you can accommodate them. So it is the opportunity that they want. It is the inclusive nature of education that they want, which they are entitled to under the Constitution. Since its inception, the Swarga Foundation, as I found from my study on account of your website and other activities, has been working on 4 broad themes. Accessibility, extremely important. You saw on the short video as to how today persons with locomotor disabilities are able to access the platform in the railway station. Not only that, Ms. Swarnalatha and team have taken it to a different level. There is a device which can take them right up to their berth. And they were explaining to me as to how the compartments are very narrow. The gangway you have between seats, they have an equipment which will take you right in between, which on a 4-wheel drive will turn onto your berth, seat the individual on the berth, and then, similarly help in alighting. So that if they are not able to travel, they will be cut off. So today you are making that available, and we congratulate you for that. Apart from accessibility, there's work on advocacy. I think awareness is very important. I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Srikanth. Many of you would have seen it. It's a fantastic movie. If you have not seen it, please go back and watch it. The very first scene is a very touching scene. Poor parents in remote Andhra Pradesh. The parents are excited that a boy is born. But when they realize that it's born, I don't want to give you the story, you will lose interest in the movie. It's a fantastic story of a visually impaired going on to be one of the top industrialists. And we have mentioned that in our judgment. We have mentioned some of the success stories of the daughters and sons of India in the judgment delivered on 15th, and request you all to look at it. So advocacy is very important because it creates awareness. Problem is there is no awareness. Our country is a large country. We have a population of 140 crores. And they must be aware that people with visible disabilities, as you rightly called it, have as much potential, and you are a fantastic example of that. You are able to do all this from conceive it from your hospital bed, execute it. You are able to sing, you are able to speak so beautifully. So actually, this itself is an example of what the capacity people have and how they should not be judged by their disabilities. So advocacy is very important. Parasports and rehabilitation. The organization has received several awards and felicitations for its exemplary work in the field of disability, notably the Sarvashresht Divyangjan Award by the Government of India. We are very proud of you. I was happy to see you receive an award from the President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. The occasion of the 10th anniversary of an organization dedicated to advancing disability rights not only marks a decade of relentless advocacy, but also serves as a testament to the resilience and determination of individuals and communities fighting for equality and dignity. Over the past 10 years, Swarga Foundation has been a beacon of hope and empowerment. Before the program started, I was privileged to watch the video of several individuals, mentioning their experience and how indebted they are to the foundation for giving them life, as it were. And to hear you, sir, to speak of how you were completely cured of the ailment and today you could walk without any support is itself a fantastic example. The strides made in accessibility, education, and employment opportunities are commendable and reflect the spirit of inclusion that our nation aspires to uphold. So I don't want to make the speech very long. All that I want to tell you is that you have the judiciary's backing. The default rule among the judges is that if there is an entitlement, the approach will be to see that they are rendered inclusive into the mainstream and not to exclude them. And that's been the sequence of judgments. We have a whole host of them. It started with Sunanda Bandare. It started with Sunanda Bandare's case. Then Vikash Kumar is an important judgment which deals with the principle of reasonable accommodation, a concept in the Right to of Persons with Disability Act. And we have had a series of judgments. And I must also tell you that the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is doing a fantastic job. While dealing with this case, we realized that they had already written a communication to the Medical Commission saying that you cannot go by percentage and you must see the functional component which they are implementing in the services and in education. I think that was the lacunae in the guidelines of the Medical Commission. That is being addressed. You have the backing of the government, you have the backing of the judiciary, and with such enormous talent, I think you must continue to do the great work that you are doing, because what you are really doing is giving them a fresh lease of life. I wish you all the best. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be part of your 10th year foundation and to inaugurate the schemes and speak to you. Congratulations. Keep up the great work. You have our support, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.
So may I please request just a couple of questions? On a lighter note, நிறைய தீர்ப்புக்கு வந்து கரெக்ட் தப்பு அப்படின்லாம் ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட் கொடுத்துருப்பீங்க. வீட்டில் யாரு சார் கரெக்ட் தப்பு?
சந்தேகமே இல்லையே.
All the men, you agree? எப்பாவது கரெக்டா இல்லை எப்பவுமே அவங்க தான் கரெக்டா? என்ன இப்படி சார்ன்ற ஐடிக்கு போஸ்ட்க்குன்னு
ரெண்டே ஆப்ஷன் தான் இருக்கு. கரெக்ட், வெரி கரெக்ட். There is no wrong option.
அப்ப happy married life தான் சார். அப்ப happy married life. So Coimbatore was
without that no profession you can function.
No dinner,
for both spouses.
For both spouses. No dinner. Profession விடுங்க. No dinner. Sir, நீங்க கோயம்புத்தூர்ல law collegeல படிச்சிருக்கீங்க. So அந்த டைம்ல
my friends are here. I am so happy. Most of them, I see Uday Kumari, I see Ranjit, I see so many of them who are here. They were all here in the evening. Mr. Mani is here.
Oh, that's
Mr.
so
Vijay
nice.
Raman is here.
Lovely, lovely. So kind of you to have taken the time to come all the way here. Thank you so much. So காலேஜ்ல நீங்க பண்ண கலாட்டா உங்களை கேட்கவா அவங்கள கேட்கவா? நீங்களே சொல்லிடுறீங்களா இல்ல அவங்கள கேட்க? குறும்பா மேம்? ரொம்ப சார் இந்த மேடம் கிட்ட நான் தனியா கேட்டுக்கிறேன். நான் மைக்ல வேணாம் இல்ல மேம், நீங்க சொல்லுங்க. குறும்பா காலேஜ்ல சார் ரொம்ப சார்
ரேடியோ மிர்ச்சின்னா அப்ப மிர்ச்சின்னா என்னன்னு புரியுது.
சார் என் பேரை மறந்துடுங்க, என்னையவே மறந்துடுங்க. நான் எங்காவது ஒளிஞ்சுக்கிட்டுமா? தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். யுவர் மியர் ப்ரெசன்ஸ் ஹாஸ் பீன் வெரி ஆனரிங். இதில் இவ்வளோ டீட்டெயில்ஸ் நீங்கள் நோட் பண்ணி இவ்வளோ ஒரு அழகான ஸ்பீச் எங்கள் எல்லாத்தையும் மோட்டிவேட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி கொடுத்தது மீன்ஸ் த வேர்ல்ட் டு அஸ். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் சார், அண்ட் தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் மேம். தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச் மேம் for being such a sport. And moving on to the last segment of the evening, launch of I Am Special Calendar 2025. I Am Special Calendar 2025 is a celebration of extraordinary talent and resilience. This year we are honored to feature 12 remarkable artists from across India, each of whom exemplifies the power of creativity and determination. To launch the calendar, may I please invite Honorable Justice Shri K.V. Viswanathan sir, Judge, Supreme Court of India, Trustees of Swarga Foundation, Ms. Varnalata, Guru Prasad sir, Dinesh Kumar Bandya, Mr. Gudubadam sir, and Perur Swamiji, His Holiness Dr. Santhalinga Maruthachala.